But glad you folks are alongside us here this morning on a wind. A little bit chilly out there this morning. And when I heard the John Weatherby forecast that winds are going to be gusting to 25 today, I was like, ooh, I should have brought the bigger coat today.
Yeah, I know it.
So it's
about 50 degrees, so, and kind of damp, and I don't know, just not the greatest start to a day.
Yeah, so, but, hey, the more rain we can get, the better right now.
You're right about that.
But I know the governor yesterday lifted the statewide burn ban, but there's still some counties that are hanging on to the burn ban as far as the counties go. So
but not us. Burn on.
Yeah, burn on, baby. So there you go.
Burn.
So we got a lot of rain yesterday and still kind of sprinkling out there this morning. So do be safe. So 601-485-9191. Going to be a busy show today here on Mornings in Meridian. Coming up in just over 20 minutes, we're going to be visiting with Miss Linda Clayton from Gateway Church up in Lauderdale. They got a big hunter's lunch coming up this weekend. Kind of a good start to the hunting season. Good start to your Thanksgiving week coming up as well.
That's right. Just eat more.
Absolutely. Eat, and
it's
eat
the week
again.
to eat.
So we'll visit with her coming up in a few minutes. And then next hour, in about an hour, we'll be visiting with Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance agent. He'll be stopping by. He's going to be bringing some friends with him, especially from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I know Jeffrey's involved in a lot of organizations here locally, and that is one to be involved in, the FCA. And they do a lot of great things in our local schools, and Jeffrey's going to highlight them, and we'll highlight State Farm Insurance.
We'll do that too. Why not? Yeah, because he's I mean, and you're right, Jeffrey Wilson is involved in a lot of different things, but this organization in particular, the FCA, is a wonderful group of kids and a wonderful group of adults that run it, too.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it really is a worthwhile cause.
So we'll highlight the FCA next hour and kind of give an update on what they're doing in the community. And plus, we'll get some information on how you can support them. I know they're always looking for, some financial support because they do so much, folks, that you just really don't realize out in our schools right now.
Sure, they do. And it does take a lot of community support to do that as well. And we've done that at the restaurant. So, we all need to take part in that and help them out.
All right, let's highlight a comment right out of the gate on Facebook. Miss LaWanda with the simple comment. We just posted it. No Roger? Question mark? Nope.
Are we going to reply or just a no?
just a no.
Yeah. Who?
Who's that?
What are you talking about? Roger.
We love Miss LaWanda. Yeah. She's a loyal viewer on Facebook.
Yes, we do.
Appreciate her out there. So, but yeah, we got the Facebook feed going as well. Go like and follow our Facebook page, WALT Talk Radio. But a lot to get into here on this Wednesday morning beyond the guests. A lot of local stories to get into. Of course, we mentioned the burn ban that was lifted yesterday statewide from Governor Reeves. And good to see that happening because I know a lot of what Roger said yesterday. He's got a bunch of piles he's got to get taken care of. I think a lot of folks are like that.
Yeah, well, I know, right?
So,
they've been building up, that's for sure.
Exactly. But that's one big story. But I guess the biggest story of the morning, and we'll go ahead and tackle this right out of the gate. Don't really want to waste any time on this because when it involves a story involving policing here in Meridian, we always seem to stop and want to talk about it, obviously, because when we hear the word police in Meridian, we need to highlight the story. But yesterday, the Meridian City Council, and we're going to give WTOK a lot of credit for the audio we're going to use this morning, had a work session, and cameras in businesses. And Charles, we were talking about this off air before we jumped on this morning a little after 7 about cameras in businesses, but this is a little bit of a different system that they want businesses to. And the way I'm reading the story from our friends at WTOK, it looks like if the businesses purchase the camera that goes into their business, what is it, like $250?
That's what they're asking for, yeah.
And that's what they're asking for. And this is a very unique type of a camera system. It involves AI, which, you've heard the word AI used a lot in the media lately, especially at the federal government level. But it is here, and this is a very unique system that was proposed yesterday. They actually had a couple of folks in attendance yesterday. They had the Jackson Police Deputy Chief and Terrian Williams. He is a strategic technology consultant with the IT company, and I'm probably going to butcher this, Pilium, I believe.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right.
They presented information and a demonstration of a new camera system called, was it Fusus?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Fusus
one would
RTCC. The new system includes video integration, real-time alerts, crime mapping capabilities, case management, and much more. So there is kind of a unique type of a camera system here, is what was described here in the story.
Well, sure. I mean, and you've got to embrace technology, of course, but I don't understand really the case management going with the camera system. I mean, case management's more of a, I don't know, a filing or you know, it's information that's not necessarily, you know, based on a video feed, I wouldn't think, unless you're filing that and kind of creating a case out of different you know, video files. But, you know, it sounds like an interesting concept. I don't know where they intend to place the cameras, if it's inside the business or outside the business. Also not sure what the $250 is for, if that's just to help to defray the costs. I would imagine the cameras are more expensive than that because it sounds like the technology's, you know, pretty sophisticated. And so, you know, $250 for a sophisticated camera doesn't sound very sophisticated to me, but...
Here's some audio from WTOK. This is, I believe, this is the consultant with that company we just mentioned, the camera company, I guess you would say, the strategic, strategic technical consultant with this IT company, Pelium. But he is kind of describing what this camera system does here. All right, this is courtesy of TOK here.
What Fuses does is a proactive policing platform that's use AI. And what we're able to do is run suspect color clothing, their vehicle license plate tags, to help get that data to the policemen to solve this crime much faster than a traditional way they used to. It allows a true collective platform to allow police, houses of worship, businesses to be able to share video in one platform to help them solve crimes much faster.
Well, now, wait a minute. You know,
interesting.
We talk to the sheriff a lot, and the sheriff talks about the camera systems that they have already in place where they get alerts and things like that when license plates are, triggered by that.
Isn't this somewhat similar? Or basically it's almost the same thing.
It sounds like it, yeah. I mean, at least those capabilities. I don't know if there are, you know, any kind of components of that are enhanced that would make it more effective. But, you know, you also tend to look at, okay, what's the total investment cost, and why not just invest in more traditional kind of boots on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think all that needs to be weighed. We need to know, you know, kind of how much they're looking to spend and where that money's coming from.
Yeah, Miss Walker, the Ward 4 councilwoman, was quoted here in the story as well. She said this real-time camera system from Jackson will only cost each individual $250. And I want to say that would be the individual business, I would assume there. And a one-time one-time fee.
There we go.
So there you go.
$5,000.
She said our business will be able to tap into it, and they'll be able to show what's actually happening at the time of the crime. And she thought that it was amazing. They were detailed and really praised the company that came in yesterday during the work session to kind of highlight all the nuts and bolts of the camera system. But the Meridian Police Department will give the company some data to formulate a proposal with pricing information to be given to the city council at a later date. So
interesting.
No decisions were made yesterday. They just kind of made a presentation, kind of gave you what the cost would be to each business. So, but yeah, $250 plus a one-time
and
fee.
It doesn't say 5,000. I was just throwing that out there. But, you know, what I think is also interesting is that, I mean, I've got, I think, 14 cameras in my business.
Yeah.
And most businesses have an internal security camera system already in place. So now some of those can be older, and, you know, the quality of the images isn't the best, so maybe this would enhance that. But, you know, when I first read it, I thought that this would be on the exterior of the building. So
that's kind of what I thought the same thing, yeah.
But now I'm not so sure. I mean, if the actual crime usually takes place within the building, whether that's an armed robbery or you know, or any other kind of theft from a business. So you would think that they would need it in the building. So inside, looking at what's going on. And does that give the police department, you know, 24/7 access to those cameras?
Once again, a lot more questions than answers at this point.
I don't have a problem with anybody watching what goes on there. I mean, in my business, but I think other people may, you know, which understandably. I mean, there's an expectation of privacy even in a public business, but when it's closed, you know, I don't know if you want the cameras on.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically what this camera system, what it sounds like, what it does is it uses AI in a lot of different aspects to basically, if there's a suspect in your business doing a crime, they break in, I guess they can analyze the camera system analyzes, I guess, clothing and other kind of aspects about the individual. I guess they can give them more details. Like, say, if they have a hood on or something like that, they can maybe do a little bit more analysis or something. It's very, very, AI is probably one confusing things to try to explain to folks.
Yeah.
It even confuses me sometimes. So, but yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of details in this.
Well, and I think it would be useful in, we've got a lot of late night break-ins of
sure,
retail.
Absolutely.
And so these are after hours.
And it's not just downtown either. It's all over the place.
Yeah. And so if the alarm's triggered, then if they can look and see what's going on inside the business, then that gives them, a little bit of a heads up of these guys are armed or they're not, or kind of what's going on. So that they're not going in blind, essentially, to a business where there are actually the perpetrators inside. They can kind of get a glimpse, see what's going on, and say, okay, we can,
So $250 for each individual business and that one-time fee.
The one-time
fee. No dollar amount on the one-time fee.
No.
So
Just one time.
So there you go. Miss LaWanda chiming back in on Facebook here. She says the city needs to stop wasting money on the drone commercials and use it to hire more officers.
Yeah, amen to that.
There we go. The old drone. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun with the drone they purchased. But,
yeah. Well, have we ever seen the drone?
I've seen it on Facebook. I've not seen it in person.
No, I've not seen it in person
But
either.
I wonder if it's fighting crime one day at a time.
Well, you think you would see it, at events downtown or events wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the eye in the sky, so they could kind of see what's going on with the big picture. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but maybe other.
Got to have a
listeners
license to fly one of those,
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
So there you go. So
License to fly.
that was the city council work session yesterday. We'll see what comes of that. And I know the jokes could have, you could write these all day long
About artificial intelligence in the police department?
Well, about
That's
artificial
just the
intelligence, the police department. Oh, you're going to bring Jackson in here to help us, and they got their own
Right,
problems too. That
'cause,
that
yeah.
joke writes itself too. So
Yeah, that hurts.
you gonna bring Jackson police in here to help Meridian?
Look at their record.
Have you seen their record over there? They need the Capitol Police to help them over there.
Yeah, that hurts.
But getting in all seriousness, though, is this something you're a business owner in downtown? I mean, this is just another tool to have in the toolbox if this does come about here.
I would, and I've got no problem with that, and I have no problem with the $250 expense. But I think there are a lot of cameras downtown already, and so I'd like to know.
Supposed to
there
be.
are. You can see them. I don't know.
Are they
if they're
being
fully
monitored?
functional, right?
Yeah.
So that's a question that I would have is kind of what's going on with them, and would we eliminate those? Is this augment the information from the new technology? I mean, kind of how does this fit into the big picture of what's going on with our current camera system?
Yeah.
So
we can have cameras till the end of time everywhere, but the bottom line is, I got to agree with Miss LaWanda on Facebook over here, officers. And I know that's all. I mean, it always comes down to boots on the ground, patrol, and we're still nowhere in the ballpark of getting there. So we can have the cameras till the end of time, which, this is a little bit more of a sophisticated system, obviously. But if you don't have the boots on the ground to patrol the city and get these crimes under control, then
that's exactly right.
The cameras are kind of, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but in some ways they are. But I go back to the original camera system that you're talking about. How much is that being utilized and monitored, though?
Sure. Well, even if we can identify the perpetrators, do we have the investigators and do we have the criminal justice system in place that can lock these people up, the perpetrators? So, and those things are lacking as well. So it's kind of the whole packet at this point.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it sounds like to me with this system, though, with it being kind of an expense on the business owners, this would not come out of a police budget, which, by the way, we don't know what that amount is.
Right.
And we'll try to get our hands on that because we all know what the amount was last year.
And where to go?
Exactly.
Was it 9.6?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it went up from that, well, a lot of people will be a little irate. So
I think so.
I'll have to work
Good
on that.
reason.
I'll have to work on that and see if I can get my hands on those numbers. So 601-485-9191 is our number. Let's talk about our friends up in Philadelphia, Doc's Toyota, and, of course, just a short drive up to Philly.
That's right. And they've got all kinds of 2023 Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras. You name it, they've got it. They got a huge selection of pre-owned inventory as well. And it's all been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process. Check them out online. They've got all their inventory listed there, docstoyota.com. Give them a call, 601-781-8017. There is no deal like a Doc's deal.
All right, let's go to the phone this morning here on Mornings of Meridian. Once again, our number 485-9191. Hey, caller, good morning. All right, they gave up. We'll go to another line here. Hey, caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, sir.
Morning.
How are you gentlemen doing this morning?
We're doing good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm great. I just wanted to share with you, gonna keep a secret, I guess, on a happy note. Saturday at 2 p.m., the EMCC plays for the state championship in football.
Football
Right on.
and scuba. Playing Colin, right?
Correct. Playing Colin, we beat Gulf Coast last Saturday. Those are the two teams that beat us in the regular season. So a sweet scenario has evolved, and we hope we can take care of business against Colin. It'll be at 2 o'clock. Outside champs. Being in the top 4 in the nation, don't know. We moved up to number 6. We moved up 2 spots last week, but probably doubtful. But anyway, I just wanted to share with those that are listening, if they like JUCO football, 2 p.m. Saturday in Scuba, Mississippi.
It may be the best game in the state. I think it's going to be a lot better than the one in Starkville on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't have any comment on that.
no comment on
I think
that.
that's the comment right there.
I think that's the
You
common
said it all.
denominator.
Oh, man.
Well,
I just wanted to throw that out there.
fantastic. Good to hear from you, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jimmy.
There you go. Big ball game up in Scuba Saturday, 2 o'clock. East Mississippi taking on Colin for the conference state championship there.
Wow.
So
Once again.
Once again,
It seems
once
like
again.
an annual event for them. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it should
What a
be
great program.
Should be a good bowl game
yeah.
on Saturday. But
That one will be.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Because we do have some high school games tomorrow night. We still have a handful of teams that are hanging on in the postseason. Meridian High still out there. West Lauderdale. Newton County Academy playing for a state championship tomorrow morning
Wow.
at 10:30 over in Jackson at Jackson Academy against DeSoto out of Arkansas. And we got Neshoba Central, a couple of the area teams still hanging on. So, but yeah, postseason
Right on.
football is
Yeah,
here.
We are here already, yeah. Of course, Thanksgiving next week. So
Absolutely.
Man,
So,
time is flying.
but to wrap up the camera story here, like I said, no decisions have been made yet on this. This was basically just a initial presentation to the council, and once they gather some more information on this, they'll kind of take the next steps in this. And I would imagine too, if it's a fee, a one-time fee and a cost to an individual business. I mean, I would guess if you don't want them, you could decline them. That's kind of up to you.
I think it's optional. Yeah, I think that's what they.
I mean,
they
because
kinda made that clear.
because it sounds like to me probably a lot of businesses with the rising crime we've had. I mean, this just didn't start yesterday. Over the past couple of years and even more, probably already have some semblance of camera system in, kind of like
You would
know
think.
what you have at your place there. So, but this is just another layer to kind of add on to that. So, but we'll kind of see what happens there. So, let's head back to the phone line at 485-9191. Hey, caller, good morning.
Well, I think that can't be anything but a good thing.
A good thing.
The cameras.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it will allow the few officers we do have to know to triage what to respond to. Did I just speak Greek?
No, I got you. I thought you had another point after that.
Yeah, no, I just, you know,
Hey,
kind
well,
of, what do you think? So I'm calling in to tell you what I think. I think it's a great thing. You know, I wish there were cameras all over the city so that they could, you know, go to where they need to be.
What would you think if the cost was $2 million?
Well, they're not spending it on officers.
right.
But if it's going to help the officers we do have be better, then I'm all for it.
Sure. It's the cost-benefit ratio, and I think that we need more information before we can really determine, you know, whether it's a viable option. But I agree. You know, more cameras can't hurt.
I can't understand why our pay in Meridian isn't so high that they're leaving every other place in the state to come be officers here.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously we've set aside budget for a full force, and we've never had one. There ought to be a ton of money waiting out there.
Yeah.
It ought to be, yeah.
At least sign-on bonus money if you don't want to commit to a salary that high. Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, you could do a little sign-on bonus and bump their pay. You know, they come and stay for the sign-on bonus, and if the pay's not up there at the end of that given time, then they use that experience and off they go somewhere else. You know, I've having a little stint in the government arena here locally years back. We fought for a director, and it kept saying, no, we're not paying them more. Well, the market was about twice what we were paying ours, and we never could keep one, and they couldn't understand it.
Right. All right, we got to run here. We got to
take a break.
All right, appreciate
cool.
it.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, we got that hard break coming up. So, but we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about food.
Ooh, good.
The hunter's lunch.
We're going to eat anything?
Well,
No,
you
we
can go
can
out there.
talk
You can go
food.
out there Saturday and eat.
All right, sounds good.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. Meridian, our number, of course, 601-485-9191. And before we talk about, a big lunch coming up this week, we're going to have lunch today, and that is the Magnolia Restaurant there at the Queen City Truck Stop.
That's right. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you name it, and late-night snack even, because they never close. Exit 150, you'll find the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop. They've got the long-haul breakfast, and if you're a long-haul truck driver, that thing will keep you going all day long. Even if you're not, it'll keep you going all day long. And, of course, Wednesday, we've got chicken and dumplings.
Woo!
Man, that sounds good. Hamburger steak, chicken wings, and fried or grilled pork chops. I know I get the fried, but, maybe if I'm feeling healthy, I get the grilled. We also have the veggie plates up there as well. And you can get something to go if you just call them, 601-482-0259. That is the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop.
Well, this next event has become a staple in our community, and it is back this weekend up at Gateway Church in Lauderdale. And here to talk about it is Miss Linda Clayton. Hey, Miss Linda, how are you? I'm well. All right, let me get your mic on here. Let's try that. Say good morning now.
Good morning.
There we go. All right.
Am I here now?
I pulled a Roger there for just a second.
Oh, don't do that again.
Don't do that again. Well, let's talk about the Hunter's Lunch. Of course, as we said, this is a staple every year up in Lauderdale. And, of course, they're at 3750 Lauderdale Road. And you guys will get rolling at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning.
We get rolling. We're already rolling. Everybody's been working and preparing and getting all of the goodies ready. But the doors will open at 11 o'clock. From 11 to 1 for our lunch. It's $10. You can eat there, or you can carry your plate out. But we have turkey, dressing, ham, fried chicken, chicken and dumplings, all kinds of veggies, butter beans, peas, corn, fried okra, rutabagas, potato salad, deviled eggs, rolls, cornbread, tea, coffee, and lots of desserts.
And I was going to say, and more. That's my favorite.
And more. And more.
And more.
And more.
Can you get any more than this? I don't know. That's a lot right there.
Bottom line, folks, if you go to this lunch and you walk away hungry,
it's your own fault.
it is your own fault.
What's wrong with you?
With this menu, that is for sure. So, Miss Linda, let everybody know how this all started and how many years you guys been doing this now.
I'm not for sure how many, but a long time. But it really started, some of the funds was going to the Methodist Children's Home a long time ago, and then it got to different organizations, and it has just kind of blossomed and went on through the years, and we help a lot of organizations in the county and the communities, and then if somebody's had a fire and the family is in need, and then we've donated to the fire department and Center for Pregnancy Crisis, Hope Village. It's just, I can't even think of all the different places that we've helped. And plus things inside of our church that we do, that when there's a need, and children going to summer camp, and then there's a retreat at Christmas, and if the kids don't have enough money to pay to go to that, we help them out.
Wow. Fed over 300 folks last year.
Wow.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. I know that's a lot.
That's a lot of full folks
in
right
2
there.
hours, yeah.
The ladies have made 35 gallons of cornbread.
Ooh.
Cornbread dressing.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of cornbread dressing.
Yeah,
So if
and
you
that'll
want-
be gone.
So if you want Thanksgiving early, this is
Yeah.
a place to be.
That's the way
And,
to go.
and a lot of folks, when they hear the hunter's lunch, they're like, "Oh, that's just going to be for those guys wearing the camo out in the woods doing the hunt." But this is open to everybody, folks.
This is open to everybody. It's, when it started, there wasn't a Sefco or a convenience store around every corner, and the folks hunting, the guys hunting, didn't have anything to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, well, we'll do that the first day of gun season and raise some money for the church. So they did, and it just grew and grew.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody comes, and the hunters, they do, and then their wives or just other people, as you say, from the community, they come, and Bambi gets a break on Saturday afternoon
nice. Okay.
because the hunters probably go back to their shoot houses and take a nap.
Probably
I
take a
bet they
nap,
do after
exactly.
that,
I know.
Well,
right.
see, we're helping everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
right.
helping. You're helping
the deer,
the
too.
helping Bambi in the woods. I
Right
love
on.
it. So, talk about the women's group up there at Gateway. Of course, it's called Wings, and you guys are really spearheading this, right?
Yes, sir. We are spearheading it. It takes everybody in the church. Our men are so good about coming and slicing the hams and the turkeys and stuff for us that morning. But Wings, Women in God's Service, we, as you say, the different organizations that we help during the year. And then also we have a group that we help, and that's the Crafty Christians.
Okay.
And that is ladies that are crocheting, and they make prayer blankets. And we give them to people that have cancer, and then we've made some that they've took to Baston Hospital for the children. And I have to brag, 2 of those ladies have macular degeneration,
Wow.
and they basically crochet from memory.
Wow.
And they're beautiful.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
we
that's
help.
something.
We buy their yarn, but that's just a tiny little thing that we do. As I said, families in need, the children in the church, it may be school supplies or their outfits or people at Christmas. It's just lots of different places that this money goes.
Fantastic.
Sure. It sounds like you're making an impact in the community.
Yes,
And that's
well, and
important. I
and
mean, yeah.
the needs are different each year,
Right.
and also it's just hard to say. But a lot of organizations, we've helped in the past, and then we still do. But if we have a special need come up, we've got some funds there to do
Wonderful.
it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, folks, you heard the menu, turkey and dressing. That got everybody's attention immediately. Ham, fried chicken, chicken and dumplings, veggie galore, and many desserts.
Many
Many desserts.
Yeah, there you go.
Many.
And here's the thing, like you said, you can sit there and eat, or if you want to just get a plate and roll on, you can do that
Right.
as well. So,
And you can, all the people that are there, you get to visit
yeah.
and chit chat with them. So it's just a fun day. It's a busy day, but it's fun, and we appreciate everybody that comes. And if you feel led to give more than a $10 bill because you're helping a lot of different organizations, we don't turn money down.
Fantastic. There you
But,
go. We ain't going to turn
I
you
don't
away.
see-
We ain't going to turn
it's
you
not-
away on that.
It's not too many ladies that will turn down an extra dollar.
That's right.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That is this Saturday. It's going to kick off at 11 and go until 1 o'clock. Dine in or carry out, and just make this a big fellowship deal. And come by and visit
Yes.
the folks there at the Gateway Church. And once again, the location. I gave the physical address, but we know a lot of folks like to say, "What is that near? What turn
Right.
do I make?" But it's 3750 Lauderdale Road. So where is exactly that church located at?
Well, from past rodeos, it's at the back gate of the rodeo
Okay.
arena. It's
See?
at the back gate of the rodeo arena. And you can come to Lauderdale and get off there at the Sefco and go just a little piece, and just in sight, it's a railroad track. Don't go over it. Take you right. Probably about 2 street blocks, but we're in the country. We're in Lauderdale. And take a right, and you're right there at it.
See, those are my
Yeah.
that's my kind of directions.
And if you ever went to play ball at Lauderdale Ball Field, you're there.
Okay.
Or as I always say, just follow the crowd.
Yeah.
Just follow the crowd, follow your nose.
Roll down
Follow
your
your-
window and smell. That's right.
Roll
Smell
down your
turkey.
window.
Yep, that's it.
Turkey dressing's that way.
That's right.
Fantastic. So that is this Saturday, Gateway Church, 11 until 1, the annual Hunter's Lunch. And folks, make this a part of your Saturday. And boy, I tell you what, it's going to be a lot of delicious food up there. And the money is going to a great cause to help out, as she said, a lot of different organizations here in the community, because Gateway Church really makes a big impact all over East Mississippi,
Thank you.
which is fantastic. So, well, Miss Linda, always good to see you.
It's always good to see y'all, and thank y'all for letting me come to spread the word about this.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all.
We'll continue to plug it away. That is this Saturday, 11 to 1, the annual Hunters Lunch at Gateway Church. And like I said, right there close to the Sefco there in Lauderdale. You can't miss it over there in the corner by the arena.
Bring your appetite.
Bring your
That's right.
appetite. So,
You're gonna
Miss
need
Linda,
one.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back after this. All right, welcome back into Mornings in Meridian. We're about 10 minutes away from the top of the hour. I appreciate Miss Linda Clayton coming by to see us a few moments ago. Of course, the annual Hunters Lunch at Gateway Church coming up this Saturday, 11 until 1. You know, I just thought about this. We had Jimmy Moore call up a few minutes ago and say that the Lions are playing in Scuba on Saturday at 2. If you're going to the ball game, stop by here first.
Right, load up,
and then go cheer on the Lions.
It's the perfect combo.
You're welcome.
It's almost like they planned it that way.
I know, right? They always like, all right, it's around this Saturday every year that they play that game.
Yeah,
So,
let's do it then.
let's do it then. So
it's a great tie-in.
So a lot going on this weekend, but yeah, make plans to head out to Gateway Church. Good folks out there at the church. Ladies really work hard, along with the men as well. $10 a plate.
That's a bargain right there.
It
For the
really
amount
is.
of food we're talking about, that's unreal.
Yeah, so if you're going to dine in for $10, that's pretty darn good right there.
It is. And I'm sure there'll be great folks up there as well, so good fellowship.
Absolutely. So, but our number, 601-485-9191. Let's thank one of our great local advertisers, and that would be Adam and Adam.
Adam and Adam.
And 8A Glass.
That's right, 217 22nd Avenue, just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum, the #1 glass replacement company here in town. 10 years running. You know they're doing something right if that's the case. Of course, if you a little peck, a little scratch, any of those little problems with the windshield, it's going to develop into a big problem with the temperatures going up and down and up and down. And so go ahead and get that fixed now before you have to get it replaced. Of course, if you do want to replace the whole thing, then they will do that as well. Go see them, 217 22nd Avenue. Give them a call, 601-693-GLASS. They're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Fantastic. We're about 8 minutes away from the 8 o'clock hour. Got some Fox News on the way along with your local news as well. But, of course, everybody focused on the big meeting today out in San Francisco, and that is President Biden and the Chinese President Xi are meeting today, and we'll see how that all rolls out. I think they're going to meet a little after lunch today.
Yeah, and I saw something on Fox this morning. They were talking about nuclear arsenal and the kind of integration of AI into, well, not only ballistic weapons, but also, I think, just drones and other, various kind of high-tech weapons like that. And that they were going to sign an agreement to limit the use of AI.
Yeah, it said in this article I've got here, it says, President Biden is set to strike a deal with China that would limit the use of artificial intelligence in nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Biden is to meet with the Chinese president today at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in San Fran, where the two leaders are expected to also sign an agreement to limit AI's use in military applications, according to a report from Business Insiders. Now, according to the report, Biden and the Chinese president will agree to limit AI use in the systems that control and deploy nuclear weapons, as well as the technology's use in weapon systems such as drones. So,
I really don't want artificial intelligence controlling our nuclear weapons.
No,
it doesn't sit well with me.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing, though? Two stories, both local and national, involving AI.
Yeah.
Would you ever
It's
thought?
the year of AI.
I mean,
guess,
it's the year of AI. I mean, this is really creeping in a hurry.
Right,
So-
I'm going to have to watch Terminator again.
I know, right?
Jeez.
The machines are taking over.
Really?
But how do you imagine this meeting is going? I mean, they've already talked about this.
I
This
don't-
meeting today, they said it's the first time that the Chinese president has met with the American president since, I think, Trump in 2017, I believe. But yeah, this is the first meeting between Biden and Xi in person.
And you wonder why
so-
they're meeting. I mean, obviously it's an economic summit, and they want to have face-to-face time. But I wonder if he's evaluating him, saying, how
There's not
how
much.
bad,
There's not
I
much
know,
to
but
evaluate.
how bad is it really? I mean, is it time to take Taiwan? What would be his response? You kind of wonder those things.
Well, and of course, you go back to this agreement about AI in the military, especially with the nuclear side of things.
Yeah.
But we should not forget about the good old Chinese spy balloon that we had.
Right. That's a
of
good
course,
point.
the spying activities of the Chinese in the U.S., and of course, you have the spy balloon, and of course, all of these military bases that we have here in the U.S., where the Chinese are swooping up property left and right close to these military bases here in the U.S. I mean, I don't think they're getting great deals right there. I mean, it's just ironic that it's all next to
You think it's a coincidence?
military bases. I'm just saying. I'm just
Right.
saying. So, but yeah, they're going to be having that meeting later on today. But the deal comes at the same time as many have warned about the growing implications of allowing unfettered AI use in combat, a new reality that has led to growing ethical concerns about AI. So, but of course, you've heard AI discussed a lot on Clay and Buck. I know they've covered it a good bit, and a lot of these judicial hearings as well, and other hearings up on Capitol Hill. So, but AI locally and abroad.
Right, the ethical implications, and which is opens up a whole host of questions right there, doesn't it? I mean, the ethical implications of nuclear weapons anyway.
Yeah.
But
Christopher Alexander, the chief analytics officer of Pioneer Development Group, questioned the need for such a deal, pointing out that the U.S. would be giving up a strategic advantage it currently holds over China by signing such a deal with the Chinese as far as limiting AI use in this,
and
aspect.
the Chinese adhere to it. And the Russians aren't, and other people aren't.
That's the other part of this, too. Will they adhere
Who's
to it?
going to police it? Yeah. Right.
Who's going to police these
We'll
guys?
get AI policing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Alexander told Fox News Digital, this is an incredibly poor decision to begin with. China lags behind the U.S. in AI capabilities, so the Biden administration just basically gave them a strategic advantage. Additionally, AI helps reduce stress to improve decision-making, which is crucial in preventing a poor decision to release nuclear weapons. So...
Okay.
Whatever, man. I'm just telling you, when it comes down to nuclear weapons, I think decision-making should not be left in the hands of AI.
Machine.
I mean,
War Games. You seen that movie?
I mean, basically, that's what
come
you're
on.
doing. You're basically handing it over to that.
You make the decision.
Yeah, when it comes
We're not
to that.
smart enough.
So, but that's just one of the
We
many
need an
things.
AI president. That's what we need.
So that's one of the many things that will be discussed, I guess, in this meeting they're having today at this conference on a very clean streets
They cleaned it up,
of
didn't
San
they?
Francisco.
Where'd they move the homeless to? And are they coming back?
Where'd them tents go?
You know,
They
bunch
had
of
them
tents over
tents
there.
up there.
Now, there was a camera crew, I think, from Czechoslovakia that was carjacked. So,
Yeah, right.
didn't get them all out of there. But
Let's go back to the phone line. We got a couple minutes for the top of the hour. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Hello.
Hey, now.
morning.
You're talking about AI.
Yeah.
The House of Representatives in Washington passed a bill that said automobile manufacturers starting in 2026 have to install kill switches in automobiles to shut off the vehicle for impaired drivers. And this is mainly touted as a way to keep drunk drivers from driving down the road. But AI is used to listen to your speech and to monitor your eyes. Tell me about it. Yeah. What is this now? How good does this sound? In your vehicle, they monitor your drive. AI is going to monitor your driving. It's going to monitor your speech. It's going to monitor your eyes. The government, this is just another way for the government to control your automobile.
And control
With
you.
a kill switch.
And control you in other aspects, too. So.
Correct.
So.
And if they don't want you driving but 100 miles a week, they'll shut you down.
Wow.
Well, they just make you buy an
For
electric
100
vehicle.
miles a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's your range. Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate
like I said, it passed the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
It passed
interesting.
them. Now, it's still got to go through the Senate
Sure.
and all that.
Sure.
But it's another example of the government telling the American citizens, you are too stupid to take care of yourself. We have to do it for you.
Right. Well, we appreciate you out there. We got Fox News on deck here, but
right.
Appreciate you out there.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
All right. All right. We're going to take a break here. Fox News up right now.
The El Shifa Hospital, calling it a precise
So, boy, where are you going getting up at 7 o'clock? Why are you peeling out here so early on Thursday morning? What are you doing? Well, I'm thinking the worst, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't. He was going because Mac Barnes was leading a huddle at Lamar School, and he was going every Thursday morning to that huddle. And I was just so struck, and I said, that's something that I want to be involved in, and I want my company, my business to be involved in too. So I signed up, and I have been just tremendously blessed at, just at that, being involved, helping them earn funds and money, and just blessed at the fellowships of kids we see that are saved and turn their lives around and give their lives to the Lord. Let me tell you what Billy Graham, you know what he said about it? He said a coach will impact more people in 1 year than the average person will in their entire life.
Wow.
Billy Graham.
That's
And
good
so-
stuff.
There's some truth there too.
Yeah.
Love it.
Coaches have so much impact over our kids. You think about it. I mean, you'd listen to your coach for you would your dad, right? I mean, coach,
Yeah.
you wanted to play ball. So these coaches and teachers are people that are forming our kids' lives, and we need to reinvest in them as well as an organization like FCA.
Got to brag on Mac Barnes. You brought his name up. I mean, he has been so heavily involved in that for years and years up until, he still does a lot, I imagine, even after retirement. But coaches like that, we've got a lot of good ones here in the community. I know you work with a lot more than just Coach Barnes. So.
Right. Yeah, Coach Barnes actually serves on our local board.
He's amazing.
Yeah, thankful for him.
Absolutely.
He was actually inducted to the FCA Hall of Champions. It's been a few years back, but that's like a recognized internationally. His picture's up on the headquarters at Kansas City. So.
And he's going to tell us to shut up talking about it now. So.
Well, let's talk about it more then. Yeah.
Exactly. Because he can't come get me right now. So exactly.
Lock the door
so,
quick,
but if folks want to get involved, they're listening out there and they want to help out with Bibles, if they're a business out there, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so our goal this year for end-of-year giving is $15,000, and what we want to do with that is host 10 local team camps. So that's a big part of our ministry as well. It goes beyond the huddle. We like to have our local teams out at Camp Marydale or Pine Lake Fellowship Camp, get them away from their normal environment. It's a win for the coach because it's team bonding. It's a win for us because we get to share the gospel and build a relationship. So we want to host some leadership camps or team camps. We want to purchase and distribute Bibles, and then scholarship college kids from our area to go to college getaway. It's an FCA camp for college students. So if anybody would like to help support in any of that, you can go to greatermeridianfca.org. Right there on the home page, it shares all that information I just shared, and there's a button there if you want to support.
So just hit the button and support right there.
Button.
greatermeridianfca.org.
Fantastic. So, well, let's take an opportunity. We'll get back to our interview here in just a moment. We need to talk about our next advertiser, and, well, he's sitting right here in the room right now, Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm, and we're going to switch gears and talk insurance real quick, Jeffrey. So tell us how we can get in touch with you, and tell us about the insurance world right now.
Well, I'm so proud to be able to help the people in Meridian, Lauderdale County, but they can reach me at 601-483-8253. I'd be happy to assist them in any of their insurance needs, whether they're with me or not. They don't. If you just need somebody to break it down to you because maybe you don't have a local agent, but I am your local agent, and I have a staff of 8 people in my office that are fully qualified to answer any of your questions. And like I said, we're not policy pushers. We help people put the right coverage they need in place. It's very important. I can help you after a loss if you have the right coverage in place at that time. So that's what we're all about.
And plus, he's going to save you some money, too, because we always talk about the combining home and auto, too.
Yeah.
$889.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a lot of money right there.
Combine and save. You know what they say on the commercial, show me, with those little chicken nuggets, the Mahomes.
with Andy Reid. Oh, yeah, man.
He's great. That's great
stuff. I love Andy Reid in those commercials.
And, of course, office is located just up from us here on 39, too, right?
Absolutely. Right there next to AT&T store, Woodstock Furniture, right across from Woodall Electric, right there on Highway 39. Easy in, easy out.
There you go. What's that number again, Jeffrey?
601-483-8253.
There you go. Charles saved you a little trouble.
Wow, yeah, it's great. We got to have him on every day.
Have him on every day.
Sign him up.
Sign him up.
Right.
So
free coffee.
So, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and yeah, there we go.
Free biscuits. Yeah.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes, of course, you talked about all the fundraisers going, but once again, that website, greatermeridian.org. FCA.org.
Right.
There we go. Throw that FCA in there. Yeah. So, but of course, with the semester coming to a close, I know you guys are going to be busy throughout the holidays as the kids get ready to head off for Christmas break too, right?
Yeah, the next two big things we have coming up, we have a college getaway that's it's in January, and so that's an opportunity to kind of rest and reset for our college students. That happens out at Timber Creek Camp in Pulaski. And then we have our coaches timeout. That's it's a marriage retreat for coaches in our area.
Okay.
So, and we love to scholarship coaches to go. So if there's any coaches listening, reach out to us. We want to send you, you and your spouse. So it's a really amazing opportunity to really strengthen your marriage. So.
It sounds like to me, Jeffrey, the schools really have been so receptive to this. I know the Lauderdale County schools have been real, but it sounds like these other schools, I mean, they're just. This sounds like it's just really sparking a lot of more schools to get involved.
It really has. We can't thank our schools enough. You know, it's nothing that the school can sponsor or have anything to do with.
Right.
But they have allowed us to come in and let it be student-led. It has to be student-led.
Because I know that's kind of the tricky part. A lot of folks always talk about is like, well, it's on a school campus, but it's the students are leading this.
Absolutely. We were doing it above board and in the right way, what we need to do. So we don't force anybody to go, you know, we don't try to, you know, handcuff you and get you in there. I mean, you know, it's kids. And I went to one, it's been a few years ago at Northeast. I just walked into the gym, pulled up a chair and sat down and on the back row, you know, nothing real close.
Yeah.
And there was a young lady up there leading the Bible study. This is, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it was probably about maybe half the gym full, you know, kids, you know, on their own and kids asking questions and, you know, and giving their point of view about the Bible verses, you know, and I was just like in awe of what's going on. So that's where I want my money to go. I want my company to represent that.
Absolutely. Dalton, that's got to make you feel good when you hear stories like that. I mean, students like this that are leading that, and you got a big crowd like that are asking questions, wanting to get involved more. I mean, it's got to make the mission even more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're I guess kind of my why with FCA, we're dealing with the most unchurched generation. If you go back and look at church attendance.
I like how you put that, the most unchurched generation. I like that.
Yeah, well, it's a reality. With each generation, the church misses the youngest generation. They're less and less involved in church. Not that church attendance is everything, but it's a pretty good spiritual barometer, you know? And so the question is, like, how are we going to reach the next generation? Well, begging them to come to our church, they would rather sit in their room and play on their phone. And so how are we going to reach them? We got to go to them. And so FCA is just an incredible opportunity to go to them, to mobilize their generation, to reach their generation. And so.
And let me say this is not to take the place of the church. Church is very important.
Absolutely.
But we're the bridge to get them to the church. We start them in their relationship, and the church cultivates them, or you know, to where they need to be with their life with Christ. So we get them from FCA or the what's going on at the school onto their local community church, and they minister to them.
That's right.
Fantastic. So, Dalton, how long have you been involved in FCA now?
It's going on a little over 3.5 years right now.
3.5 years.
Before that, I was a coach and a teacher. So
fantastic. What did you coach?
Junior high football.
Junior high football.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. There we go. So,
a lot of fun.
But it is unique though. You talked about kids and these phones, and this is a different generation now. But still, there is hope out there.
That's right.
Just want to let folks know there is hope out there.
A lot of great kids out there. There really are. I mean, I see them. I know you guys do too as well. So it's you know, it's kind of, it gives me faith for the future. Even though we got a lot of issues, but there are a lot of great kids. So, and I know you guys are nurturing them. So I think it's wonderful.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. Once again, if folks want to donate and get involved, a business out there, if you got a business leader listening out there, they want to get involved. How do they do that?
GreaterMeridianFCA.org. That's where you can find all the information. Also, my phone number is 601-480-8847. Would love to have a conversation with you. So
fantastic. And Jeffrey, I appreciate your involvement in this, and this is such a great cause for folks to really get plugged into.
It really is. I mean, if you have something that you would like to make a donation, leave, if you have a retirement plan that you're not going to use, you know, an estate or something like that, this is a great organization to do that. You could leave that to FCA. You know, and it would be a great thing that would just go on and on and on and have, you know, benefits in somebody's life for years to come. So I just, we just need the support of the community, to keep this growing.
Fantastic. So, guys, appreciate what you're doing, and always good to see y'all. And once again, the website is greatermeridianfca.org.
That's right.
Bingo, got it that
You
time.
got
so
it. I wrote it down, but you had
wrote it
man.
down.
You memorized it.
If I listen enough, I'm
Amazing.
going to get it.
You
So
repeated it 7
exactly.
times. I think I got it now.
All right, guys, appreciate y'all coming in this morning. So,
Sure. Thank y'all
all right,
for
before we
Thank you.
take our next commercial break, let's thank one of our other advertisers, Purvis Business Machines.
That's
here.
right. They've been doing it since 1979. Purvis Business Machines, everything you need for document management solutions. Right there on Highway 39 North. They got a wonderful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North. They also have lease return color copiers. Talking about saving money, you can save up to 85%. I did not stutter. 85% on a lease return color copier. Go check them out. You can see all their inventory online at gopurvis.com. Of course, you need to go by the showroom anyway because they're just wonderful folks. 4505 Highway 39 North, or give them a call, 601-693-COPY. That is Purvis Business Machines, and I love their motto, service, not excuses, since 1979.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Mornings of Meridian. Got some Fox News after this, and we'll be back. ALT, little Zach Brown band bringing us back in. Once again, big thanks to Jeffrey Wilson, Dalton Smith, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Boy, get involved in this. Doing a lot of great things out there in our schools and really touching the lives of a lot of young men and women across the area.
They really are. I had no idea the influence they had and how many kids are involved in this.
Absolutely. So
wonderful organization and doing a lot of good.
Yeah, GreaterMeridianFCA.org. Log on. Yeah,
got it again.
Yeah, log on to that website, and if your business wants to get involved toward a worthy cause, this will be one avenue to really go down.
Sure.
So go to GreaterMeridianFCA.org to learn how you can donate and change some lives out there.
Definitely.
In our schools. So on the birthday list today, from the music world, not really anybody interesting. If Roger was here, he'd play ABBA because one of their band members is having a birthday.
Swedes.
One of the Swedes is having a birthday. Let's see. Shailene Woodley, Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend, is 32. I think they broke up. Sam Waterson's 83. Of course, you remember him from Law and Order.
Of course.
Let's see who else we got. Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh, of course.
72 today.
Really? Okay.
From Christmas Vacation. And you know what? Just for kicks and giggles, let's play this little beauty right here.
Hey kids, look, a deer.
Ah.
Trying to get to the line where she says, I want to spend the holiday. Yeah.
Slow down! You want to ride behind somebody who does something like that? I'm going to pull around them and leave them safely behind us. Burn some dust here. Eat my rubber.
Eat my rubber.
Dad, I think what you mean is burn rubber and eat my dust.
Whatever, Russ. Whatever.
If you've seen this 100 times, you're probably reciting every line like we are.
You can
So
envision it.
Red liver lips.
my sister loves that line where she says, I want to spend the holidays dead. Here they come around the hill.
Speaking of Christmas trees, kids, can one of you tell me what the first kind of tree displayed at the White House was?
Dad, they're back.
They're back.
Clark, stop it! I don't want to spend the holidays dead.
Beverly D'Angelo.
72, wow.
72 today. So, but play a little Christmas Vacation because we're all going to be wearing that DVD out here pretty soon.
You know it.
21 minutes away from the 9 o'clock hour. A little fun here. It's not even a fun Friday yet here on Mornings in Meridian. And while we have an opportunity, got a couple other stories to get into. We did have an election finally called here locally that we'll get into, and it's not District 2 supervisor.
Okay.
So we'll get into that coming up shortly. Also, I got some Jimbo Fisher news you might want to hear. But first, let's thank our friends down at Ready to Roof.
That's right. When you're ready to roof, there's only one company here in town to call, and that's a Ready, the number 2 roof. You can check them out online at readytoroof.com or call them at 601-573-1150. Of course, they've qualified as Master Elite Certified roofers, and that sounds pretty impressive. And it is, because only 2% of all roofing contractors in the nation have qualified as Master Elite. They also have financing options available for those low monthly payments for that brand new roof. Call them today for your free estimate, 601-573-1150, or you can make an appointment online at ready2roof.com.
Yeah, getting back to one of our local elections, well, not just centrally located here in Lauderdale County, but this does affect other areas. 1 week after the general election, candidates in the race for Central District Public Service Commissioner, they still don't know who's going to hold the office.
Really? Okay.
And, Democrat DeKeither Stamps is a state representative who ran against Brent Bailey 4 years ago. Now, unofficial numbers have Stamps leading Bailey by just over 2,000 votes. Now, over the last 24 hours, we've seen the difference between, and this is quoting Bailey, by the way, seen the difference between myself and the opponent shrink from about 3,300 votes to approximately 3,100, and now it's down to 2,130.
Wow.
And he says, we've seen a net pickup of 1,110 votes since yesterday. Well, that was actually back on Monday. Now, Mr. Stamps has said that his opponent has not conceded the race. Now, votes are still being counted.
Wow.
A week later, they're still being counted, and it seems as though he will wait until the last vote is counted in order to concede, or maybe not. I don't know. That was from Mr. Stamps right there. Of course, Brent Bailey, who we had on the show here recently, was an energy sector advocate before taking office. Stamps, 46, is a former U.S. Marine and former Jackson City councilman. The Public Service Central District represents 22 counties. Now, according to the Secretary of State's office, as of Tuesday morning, 1,228 absentee ballots have not been returned in counties in the Central District. And it's a week later. Wow.
Huh. Okay. I thought they had to be in by the 15th.
Yeah.
But I also, now, if he's down by 2,000 votes, then there's only 1,000 votes or ballots that haven't been counted.
Yeah, 1,228 absentees.
But he's down by 2 at this point.
Yeah, so I would think
okay.
that he doesn't have the math
really
right
work,
now. Yeah, county election commissioners will submit certified results on or before November 17th. Now, the public service commissioners determined by a, plurality of the vote, not a majority. The person receiving the most votes would be elected to the commission. So it's one of those that's a little bit of a different than some of the other offices.
And it's a big district. I mean, there's 100,000 votes or so, 120,000, something like that for each candidate. I mean, it's not one of these where you got like 500 for that and 503 for the next one.
Yeah, I know last Wednesday when we were looking at all the results, that was the one race outside of District 2 supervisor that was still kind of up in the air, and I didn't realize it was that many absentee votes that were still out there. For this position.
Well, I guess in that big 22 counties, you've got a lot of absentee votes. So, I thought that we had to have them in by a certain time. They needed to be either received or postmarked by a certain date. So, surprised that they're still out there, and if they're still out there, that they're still valid. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, but I guess we need some clarity as far as the law goes on that.
So it looks like more than likely, I don't think Bailey's going to have the votes to catch up here. So it looks like Mr. Stamps will take over in that position more than likely. Of course, these are all unofficial numbers as they get everything kind of certified.
Now, we don't have a District 2.
You know, I would like to get full clarification on that because if you remember this time last Wednesday, there was a 7-vote difference between Mr. Houston and Mr. Newell. And then I guess some of the, wouldn't call them, I guess, mail-in type affidavits came in. I want to say that total went from 7 to 24, a 24-vote difference. But you would think with it being that slim of a margin, that would probably trigger an automatic recount in District 2. So, but have not heard any other new info on that. But you would think with it increasing like it did, you'd think Mr. Houston would hold on. But then again, probably do a recount. But like I said, if it's got to be certified on or before the 17th, you would imagine we would have heard something different by now.
So 2 days.
Yeah, so you'd think probably more than likely it'll stick the way it is.
Okay.
So, but that's just a couple of election stories here on Mornings in Meridian. Our number is 601-485-9191, whatever's on your mind here on this Wednesday morning outside of fighting in the Senate that we had yesterday.
Oh, almost fighting. I was kind of hoping.
Did you see the video of that?
I was getting ready for it. I was like, come on.
I mean, all right. So
I got money on the big guy. And
so
then that didn't happen.
You've got an Oklahoma senator who is, they're in a hearing yesterday, and he had printed off some stuff that was on social media. There was some Teamster boss that they had that was getting, that was testifying, and a fight almost. Well, let's just say this. He's behind the podium up top here, and the other guy's across the room. And he says, well, let's go.
It was posturing.
And he just stood up. But of all people, the voice of reason, Bernie Sanders.
I know. Can you imagine?
He's like, you're a U.S. senator. You're a U.S. senator. You need to sit down. You're a U.S. senator.
And he did.
And he did.
Listen to Bernie.
But here's the problem. He would have lost that fight hands down because that senator from Oklahoma is a former MMA fighter. When he stood up, his arms were about to bust out of that shirt. He is huge. So be careful of who you tangle with.
Of course. Well, it never would. I mean, they never would have let him leave. But I mean, it would have been entertaining. I mean, I think they.
Well, I mean, look at all the ridiculousness we had yesterday. We had that yesterday. You had the whole Kevin McCarthy deal with one of the 8 that voted against him for speaker. He was doing an interview, and he claims that McCarthy elbowed him in the kidney as he was walking away. So it's like, what are we doing up on Capitol Hill right now? I mean, really? Is this
well? I mean, it's just kind of an indication of things that we thought. This is the best that we have.
This is where we're at right now.
Is this really the best that we've got?
So we had fights yesterday.
Almost fights.
Almost
There were
fights.
arguments, but you know,
we got to get Mills laying on there. Let's get it on.
I don't know. They ought to have some kind of celebrity boxing match, MMA fight. You know, I'd pay for it on pay-per-view.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That boy from Oklahoma, I don't want to tangle with him.
Well, the Teamster guy was pretty solid, but yeah, I don't think he couldn't hang. I mean, there's no way.
Here's a measure of the tape between the two
exactly
competitors right there. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jimmy. You got to remember, our president set that precedent, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
The one that said he like to take our man out back and whip him. Now, he started that now. Hey.
Yeah.
So, don't get mad. Bernie ain't gonna say that though, but he needs to say that and tell where the root of this standing up and let's get it on started at. So
yeah,
that's my take on that little thing. But hey, I think the senator would have took him on to the woodshed.
he's a big boy.
Yes, sir. I seen that righteousness, and he ain't scared either.
No, he ain't scared. He said, "This is the way we do things in Oklahoma," and I was like, "That's the way we do things in Mississippi too."
Right.
That's right. Let's go out to the woodshed, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. My thing today is, you know, we got so many hypocrites, man, and the biggest hypocrite today is the homeless advocates and what's his name, the Reverend, the black activists. Well, anyway, all the black activists and all the homeless activists, they are hypocrites, man, because here it is, they bring all these illegals over here, put them in the best of the best. Now, we're not supposed to have any money because we can't take care of the homeless. But all of a sudden, we can find billions of dollars to house these people in some of the best hotels and residences.
Yeah.
And I don't hear nothing. I don't hear a peep out of them people. Nothing. So we got a lot of hypocrisy going on when it comes down to the homeless, people being advocates for the homeless.
What do you think? What do you think we can do locally here with our homeless issue here in Meridian?
I mean, that would go back to the same thing. If this is Rob, right?
Yeah, this is Rob. Yeah.
Rob, now you think about it. If we want to get some influx of some people coming in here now, I guarantee you they're going to find some money and some shelter for them people that they bring here.
Mm-hmm.
But local can't find no help. So if they got money, would they have money? They can get some money to help the homeless if that's what they really want to do. It's hypocrisy, man. It really is. And when stuff like that happens, that shows you that is really going on, the hypocrisy that's really going on, because every time it happens, they find a way. And now listen, I'm not for reparation like that, because I don't think we'll ever have reparation, but I want to say this, that I noticed. Whenever the people who are advocating for reparation, that there's a certain group that say we ain't got no money, okay? But then all of a sudden, like I say, up pops Ukraine, you can find billions of dollars to send to Ukraine or anybody else. But when you say something local, there's never any money. And then one more thing, I'm going to let it go. Tim Scott, I wish he would have called me so I could have gave him the ups that he should have never thrown his hat in the ring. Now, listen, I got faith in America today, but there will never be an African-American man president in the United States. It never will be. And so Tim could have called me, and I could have told him that. And those who out there said we had one, Barack Obama, I say it again, Barack Obama Hussein is not an African-American. African-American title is for those descendants of the African slave that was brought here. And I love America, and we're going to be listening in, sir.
There you go. Good call this morning. Appreciate you. All right, 601-485-9191. You think, going back to Tim Scott, I mean, running mate, somebody maybe, you think?
I think everybody likes Tim Scott, you know? I mean, I just don't think that he has it on this cycle. But what he did was he positioned himself as kind of one of those leaders of the Republican Party, and in 4 or 8 years, I think he's a viable candidate. You know, but I think that's all about positioning. I just don't think this year was right for him. I think he kind of knew it going in, but he wanted to get out there. He presented himself very well. I think that a lot of people are impressed with him, and I think that it will serve him well. People will remember him in 4 and 8 years.
Yep. There's a lot of them that need to wait another cycle.
Yeah.
Chris Christie.
Well, yeah, he needs to cycle through the buffet
hey,
again.
How about this? Don't come back for another cycle.
Yeah, stay retired.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Mornings in Meridian. I'm going to share some ridiculous Jimbo Fisher numbers after this break that'll blow your mind. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Do it.
Mornings in Meridian. It's one of those you have to wait a while before it kicks in, but it's always worth it.
And is this as a result of the FCA meeting? Bob O'Reilly?
I know, right?
Ah, classic Who. Love it. Yeah.
Just a few minutes away from some Glenn Beck at 9, followed by Clay and Buck there at 11. Of course, the great Sean Hannity at 2, and then Joe Pags on your drive home. And, of course, lots of good news talk radio throughout the night as well. And still got a few minutes left. If you want to give us a call at 601-485-9191. Of course, a lot of memes all over Facebook the last several days about the firing of Jimbo Fisher. Like,
yeah.
I want a career just like that.
Just like it. I mean, I want a payday like that, really, not a career necessarily.
The payments to Texas A&M, well, former Texas A&M coach, now Jimbo Fisher, after firing him. Listen to this. The way this is structured, he doesn't have to work the rest of his life. Within 60 days of the firing, which happened, back on Sunday, Texas A&M owes him, within a 60-day window, $19.4 million.
Okay.
Within 120 days of the firing, they owe him $7.72 million.
Okay.
And then he will earn another $7.27 in 2025, 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31.
Wow.
Those years, he will get a $7.27 million buyout every year from 25 up to 31. And he'll get 19.4 within the 60-day window, and then that 7.27 within 120 days.
That's a retirement plan.
I mean, that is a plan right there.
Jeez. Now, is there any sort of non-compete clause? So if he goes to another SEC school or is hired as another coach, does that diminish? Or
I don't know. I know the clause they have with Zach Arnett at Mississippi State states that if he takes another job, I think that the other school has to eat some
within the SEC.
Within the SEC,
Okay.
I think so, or it may be outside of the SEC. But I would imagine with something like this, there's got to be something in there written because that is a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, I mean, they gave him a blank check almost. I mean, they wanted him that bad. They thought he was the coach, and they were sadly mistaken.
I just can't wrap my mind around that. You're going to get nearly $20 million within 60 days. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have a good Christmas at the Fisher household.
So what we should do is we should try to reach out to Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
And get him in touch with Dalton Smith and them, the FCA, and make a huge donation.
You got his number? I suspect he turned his phone off.
He probably did.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like when somebody wins like the Mega Millions jackpot. Jimbo's going to be like that for a while. He's going to turn the phone off and be like, hey, nowhere to be found. I mean, it's going to go off the map, you know. So
well, except for there are probably quite a few irate A&M fans, although they've been irate for a long time. But I suspect the donors are now irate because they've got to give all the money to them.
But that just shows you where we're at right now in college sports.
Well, I mean, when you look at A&M, though, they had a renovation of Kyle Field that was $500 million, $500 million on a football stadium for a college.
So you're basically throwing $76 million down this black hole, and combined with that, whatever you got to pay a new coach, which you know they're going to go after one of the better guys that's out there, and you're going to probably pay him $5-6 million a year for God knows how long.
Oh, you're going to guarantee
more.
for $5? It's going to be maybe $100 million contract. I mean, they've got billions there. They
know.
Must have billions. You know, a lot of oil money.
So, folks, as you go around Meridian and do your daily work, just think that Jimbo Fisher is getting that amount of money until 2031.
I'm in the wrong line of work.
I know, right?
Wow.
So you thought the buyout was ridiculous. That makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah,
now,
it does.
So there you go. On that note, we're going to get on out of here. Charles, have a good rest of your week,
You too.
and we'll see you next week.
Sounds great.
Roger allegedly will be back tomorrow.
That's what
And,
he says.
folks, have a great day. And as we always say, buy local. See ya.